I've talked about Outkast before, but I don't know if I've talked about my favorite songs. So just real quick, we got "Ain't No Thing," "Get Up, Get Out," "Crumbling Herb," "Hootie Hoo," "Players Ball," two dope boys in a Cadillac," "AT Aliens," "Evolution," "Elevators, Me and You," "Hold Me, Be Strong," "Return of the G," "The Art of Storytelling," Part One, "Gasoline Dreams," "So Fresh, So Clean," Miss Jackson, Miss Jackson, "Explosion," "Gangsta Shit," "The Way You Move," "Hey Ya," and "Love and War." Which I would say "Love and War" is one of the later tracks I found out. I mean, like, when I first listened, like, I had a buddy, he showed me Stankonia, "Gasoline Dreams" was my favorite song, my favorite trong, I guess, my favorite track, trong and track and song. Anyway, or tong. Anyway, sorry. I was just talking about A Tribe Called Quest, and this is another band that really perfectly blended hip hop with rap. And if you want to know my opinion of what the difference is, I just talked about it. You can listen on Tribe. I'm not gonna fucking say it. We really got this yin and yang situation with Big Boy and Andre 3000. It starts off with kind of contemporary. I mean, with their early stuff, contemporary rap, hip hop stuff that's already kind of in the local scene. Maybe stuff that's come before. Maybe not exactly in the local scene. I'm not sure what happens. I mean, maybe it's just because Andre 3000. I mean, I don't know who exactly inspired the let's do weird stuff or whatever, but I imagine it was probably Andre. Big Boy seemed to kind of be the straight man of the group. So with Big Boy being kind of a foundation, being the grounded person, I guess, or whatever, you allow Andre to go, where's the box? We see the outside of the box, or not the outside, but we see the inside, and we see the dimensions of it, just by touching it and stuff, and eventually maybe we can find a way out of the box, in which they are easily able to do. I mean, so I talk about like Nirvana's In Bloom and stuff, and with like Hey Yeah and The Way You Move, those tracks, in my opinion, the sound was copied, stolen, whatever you want. It was just repeated by other people to the point where it's just almost nauseating to even listen to these tracks. I recently just started listening to, In Bloom, it might take a while for me to appreciate. I do, once again, I love Nirvana's possibly my favorite band of all time. If I really think, I don't know, I have to still think about that kind of shit. But In Bloom, I still it's like nails on chalkboard for me. But and those two, the Hey Yeah and The Way You Move, I just felt like I said, just like that sound, and definitely so what happens when you become popular? I mean, like, you're definitely you make really cool ass music. It's like I said, rap, hip hop. There's about funk in there. There's once again, and later on they start going to, like I said, pop elements. Love and War is like such an experimental. I don't even like. It's honestly, I gotta say, it's probably my favorite track by them now. I do think AT Aliens is probably my favorite album by them. Maybe. Speaker Box, The Love Below is, in my opinion, like their white album. If in terms of like the Beatles, there's just like so many tracks on it that you're bound to like one of them probably, and then if you like one of them, then maybe it'll start like influencing you to like the other ones. I think of like Astra, Feel It Break. When I listen to Lose It, this is like 2010. I know this is another band completely, but I listen to that song so much, and I tried listening to the rest of the album, and I couldn't get into it. But eventually, it's just like a breakthrough. You just start. I don't know, but that's what usually happens. Not always, but when that does happen, sorry. Sometimes you just stick to just one song and that's about it. So, when you do have that water and oil kind of like entity, the two entities they're just like, it's very difficult, especially once again when you have almost two different perspectives, and I don't know, I don't really want to get too much into I don't know, I guess drama and stress and stuff like that, or all that shit that, because I wasn't there. I don't fucking know. It's just unfortunate that they couldn't, that they can't, but I understand. And also, I recently heard, and I've actually listened to, talking about him now, I actually got to go and find Andres. I do, I'm more of Andre. I'm more of an Andre guy. I kind of feel like, I mean, the way I wear my clothes and stuff like that, I make my own clothes and stuff. I'm definitely, I have difficulty being a grounded person. And it's awesome. I mean, of course, I want Andre to come back. I want Outkast to come back. I do. But I understand if I've issues amongst family, or my family has issues amongst me or about me or whatever. So I understand it's and especially with friends and stuff. I'm not. There's plenty of old friends. I don't, and it's just, blame goes all around sometimes not. It's difficult. It's a difficult thing, and I don't know if it's trauma based or something, or just just enough. There's a big enough pile that hasn't been addressed, or enough time hasn't passed, or something like that. But anyway, Andre had mentioned, I think in a I don't know, some kind of interview or whatever, but he'd say that rap. I could be wrong. Maybe this is completely incorrect. But as far as I heard, rapping is a young man's game, and I really don't agree with that. And I'm sure plenty of other people disagree as well. Rap is. It's just, in my opinion, I mean, if you want to be logical about this, or just like bare bones, it's just spoken word through percussive percussive rhythm. Maybe I always equate rapping as though it were a percussive instrument. Because I mean, generally you're not changing notes. Generally, when you're rapping, it's kind of spoken word, but you're sticking to the beat and typically following the tempo. Or kind of making your own tempo, and everything follows around that tempo. Same with hip hop and all that. It's just rapping in general. I don't think you call it hip hopping, but with rapping, and I mean with the lyrical contents. I mean, I don't feel like looking at them directly, but there's interpersonal stuff. There's social commentary, political commentary, life experiences. I mean, I've talked about. Long story short, I believe hip hop's a little bit more selfless and about togetherness, where rap is about self or selflessness, or just taking care of oneself, because sometimes it's all you have in life. I mean, or in the world, and especially. I mean, I already talked about it with Tribe. If you want to listen to it, I just think maybe it comes down to, I mean, having something to talk about, which I imagine there's plenty to fucking talk about. I imagine there's plenty to fucking talk about right now, and we need as many voices as possible. If you want any kind of quote-unquote revolution, for any kind of change, we need as many people as possible, new and old, as many people as possible to come together in order for this to continue peacefully. That's what we want, right? We want peace. We want change. We want reform, progress. Because a lot of traditional values, do I have to explain it as a white man? Really? I know I don't to some of the audience. I know I don't. But once again, sometimes you gotta be Captain Obvious. Sometimes you gotta, it has to be a Hydra. A good, wholehearted Hydra that doesn't want to, you chop off the head of one and 20 more come, and you're let's never do that again. That was a bad idea. That was a really bad fucking idea. And I believe art is extremely important. I believe when you have very, in my opinion, very wise souls, despite you being at one point youthful and now being elderly or old, whatever you want to say, or, matured, whatever, like a fine wine, whatever the fuck you want to say. We need all the help we can get. And I'm just telling you right now, the disappointment I do have, I'm just saying, money kills, man. Money is fucking killing us. Okay? The money man has come to fuck us. Do you want to get fucked? Do you want to keep getting fucked? Fuck money, dude. Money shouldn't come over family. Money shouldn't come over friendship. Money shouldn't come over society. Money shouldn't come over the fucking environment, over the world. But, you know, that's what's happening hardcore right now. And we're letting it happen. I know, once again, I should be talking about Outkast. This is Outkast.